Sure enough, her small pecky breasts were pushed up by emerald lace. Her stomach and legs were thin and glorious. She grinned and kept writing. Fallon is chained to his bed, and Glory suddenly appears in front of him, pen and notebook in hand. Glory's messy bedroom faded to black, and then Glory was lying against cool silky sheets. Cold metal anchored her wrist and ankles in place, her pen and notebook gone. A white chiffon flowed overhead, like a cloud descending from heaven. What the hell? She tugged at her hands. The chains rattled but didn't budge. Suddenly, Fallon approached the side of the bed, the pen and notebook in his hands. He looked at Glory and his eyes widened. She looked at the contraband he was holding and he grinned. It worked, he said, shocked. It really worked. Her struggle increased. What worked? What happened? What did you do to me? What the hell was going on? He was naked, and his tanned skin was magnificent. Rope after rope and muscle of muscle, traceable sinew, and a long hard erection. A glittering necklace hung from his neck. She looked away from the sheer majesty of him, struggled some more. Be still, he said. Go to hell. The metal began to cut into her skin, drawing warm breaths of blood. Fallon tucked under his tongue. He strode out of the bedroom, leaving her alone. Fallon, she cried. Panic infused every corridor of her body. Don't leave me like this. Come back. He turned a moment later, the pen and notebook gone. In their place were stripes of clothes. Be still, he ordered again, sharply this time. She obeyed. She was panting, skin overly hot. At least he'd cover himself with a robe, blocking all that milk deliciousness from her view. What's going on? How did you do this? You don't have any powers. He eased beside her, and the mattress jiggled. She tried to scoot away, but the chains didn't allow her to go very far. No, I don't have powers, but I do have a friend who is dating a witch who wants her sisters happy. Her jaw went slack. Evie helped you? Leaning forward and wafting the scent of man, the dark spice to her nose, Fallon began wrapping the clothes underneath the chains, protecting her skin. Do not soften. She'd taken the anti-love potion. She shouldn't have to warn herself to remain distant. But the potion wasn't freaking working. Hunter questioned Evie about the pen. He finally explained. Apparently, Evie failed to tell you that she had a charm to counteract the effects of it. I don't understand. Come closer, keep touching me. She had to bite her lips to keep the words inside. Anything negative you wrote about the person wearing the charm would be done to you instead. Shock sliced through her. As hot as he was, that's what happened. Hunter also emptied out your potions and replaced them with colored water, just in case you tried to feed me one. So that was why, that little jackass. No wonder the anti-love potion hadn't worked. Now she was helpless, on her own. The knowledge should have panicked her all the more. Instead, she found herself praying his robe would split and she would be able to see his nipples. Maybe lick them. I had wondered what kind of scene you would write, and must admit I'm surprised by what you chose. I expected hungry lions or a raging, bloody battle, and thought I would have to pluck you from its mist. I'd even draped myself in armor, just in case. Then that armor disappeared, and I began to hope. Her cheeks flamed. They were probably glowing bright red. She tried to cover her embarrassment by snapping. Why didn't my clothes disappear instead, since you have the charm and all? Removal of clothes isn't negative. His head tilted to the side, and his gaze roved over her. He frowned. Why do you write yourself like that? Like what? So thin. Because, was all she said. Because I want to be pretty for you. I like you better the other way. Liar. Now write me out of this scene. He shook his head. Hell no. I've got you right here. I've always wanted you. I'm not a liar. In fact, I refuse to touch you while you are like this. When you are back to normal, then the laughing can begin. A tremor rocked her. She didn't dare hope. The chains will disappear by then too. And if you think I'm staying here, you are crazy. You can be rechained. Good point. The pleasuring will never begin because I've decided I don't want you. Now, who's lying? He pulled a plush lounge next to the bed and sat, gaze never leaving her. I'll make a pact with you. I won't lie to you if you won't lie to me. From now on, we'll be completely honest with each other, okay? Whatever you say, she said in a sugar-sweet tone. So, what do you think of my bedroom? She'd been about to say something mean, but then her sight snagged to the crystal chandelier, dripping with thousands of teardrops on the intricately carved dresser, or cheats spilling from vase. A bejeweled tray provided the centerpiece. Unexpected, she finally finished. Everything inside the house was a gift from my brother. Her head snapped towards him. I didn't know you had a brother. Fallon nodded, his hair dancing over his cheeks. There's a lot you don't know about me, but that's going to change. We're going to get to know each other, Glory. No, that would defeat the purpose of loving and living. If he continued this, she would leave, but she would not be unscattered. Oh yes, he insisted. At every time you reveal a fact about yourself, you earn a reward. Goosebumps spread over her skin, and if I remain quiet, slowly he grinned. You earn a punishment. I have the pen after all. This is not fun. This is not exciting. I am not turned on. Fine. Tell me how many women you've had in there. There? That should dampen her terrible, wonderful mood. You are the first. She flashed him a scroll. I thought we weren't going to lie to each other anymore. I spoke through. You are the first woman I've ever allowed inside this bedroom. What about the fairy that night? He held up a hand for silence. I sent her home the moment you were out of sight. Seriously, Glory didn't know whether or not to believe him, but she adored the idea of his claim. What about Kyla? Sent her home too. I didn't want her. I wanted you. As you might have guessed, I used her to get your attention. Well, you got it, she grumbled, then cringed at the admission. I noticed you the first day I moved into town, he said. He'd noticed her in a good way. She shivered, feeling as if his hands were already on her, caressing, stroking her desire. Cold? He asked. She nodded. Because she didn't want to admit his words had ignited a storm of desire inside her. He rose, grabbed a black silk comforter and tugged it over her. The material was cool against her skin, But damn it, it didn't dampen her need. No, it increased it. Every nerve ending she possessed cried for him. Fallon placed a soft kiss on her lips. Automatically, she opened her mouth to take it deeper. He pulled away. A moan slipped from her. Soon, he said as he reclaimed his seat. His voice was tense. Now, back to the first time I saw you. You were outside with your sisters and selling your potions. At first, I didn't know they were potions. At that time, I didn't know they were potions. I just saw a beautiful woman with rosy skin and hair like flame. She gulped, couldn't speak. I wanted you so badly. As he spoke, his fingertips caressed her thigh. I was making my way towards you when I heard the words potion and witch, and then I couldn't get away from you fast enough. Maybe he was telling the truth about his desire for her. Maybe he did like her just the way she was. Maybe. I never tortured anyone until I met you, she admitted softly. His head tilted to the side, and he studied her intensity, violent eyes blazing. Why me? Because, was all she said. Glory. Just tell him, she sighed. Because I wanted you, and I knew I couldn't have you. You wanted me? He asked huskily. You know I did. She watched him from the corner of her eyes. He leaned back and stretched his legs out and up, the robe falling away and revealing his strong calves. There was calluses on the bottoms of his feet, as if he often ran through the forest without shoes on. Made her wonder if he wore any clothes at all. Her stomach quivered with the thought. Tell me about the first time you noticed me, please. Like she could deny him anything now. She thought back to that fateful day, and the quiver in her stomach became a needy ache. Well, another needy ache. She was consumed with them. He'd been moving boxes into this very house. She and her sisters had walked through to welcome him to town when he spotted them. He'd frozen. Introduction had been made, and he'd smiled coolly but politely at Evie and Godiva. Glory he simply nodded at before looking hastily away. I thought you were the most beautiful man I've ever seen. The sun was shining over you lovingly, and you were sweating, glistening. You'd taken off your shirt and that smoked your chest. His lips twitched. I've noticed you have a thing for manly sweat. I do not. You placed me in a gladiator cell straight from battle, woman. You like men who do physical labor. Admit it. So what? There's nothing wrong with that. No, there isn't. It's cute. He didn't give her time to respond. So why did you want to place me in chains tonight? She fought for breath. You know why? Tell me. Say the words aloud. I decided to be with you just once. You know, to purge myself so you suggested before. And you thought you needed chains for that. No, I wanted to be in control of everything. I don't think so, he said with a shake of his head. In the forest, you almost came when I pinned your wrist over your head and took control away from you. Right now, your nipples are hard and your skin is besinged by goosebumps. You like where you are. Her mouth dried as the realization settled inside her. He was right. She loved where she was. She loved that he could do anything he wanted with her, and she couldn't stop him. Didn't want to stop him. Would one night be enough? She couldn't possibly learn all there was to know about his body, his pleasure, her own. Oh damn. Already, She was doing what she'd sworn she wouldn't, falling deeper, wanting more. Fear dug sharp claws inside her. Maybe this isn't a good idea, she said, screaming. Maybe we should stop here and now and part as friends. I won't hurt you again. You have my word. And you even can keep the pen. Oh, I'm keeping the pen, he said darkly. But I'm not letting you go. He pushed his feet. He was crawling. You are angry. Why? I'm setting you free from our war. I hate the thought of you walking out of this house, ever, and I don't understand it. The rope fell from his shoulders and onto the floor, pulling at his feet. She sucked in a breath and simply drank in his magnificence. He was harder than before. His erection so long it stretched higher than his navel. He grabbed the pen and notebook and started writing. Before she could ask what he was doing, the chains fell away from her. Tentative, she eased up, but she didn't leave. She couldn't make herself, though common sense was screaming that she'd do so inside her mind. This was what she'd asked for. Thank you. Fight for me. Wait, what? No, not yet, he continued writing. Quick as a snap, her weight returned. Her bra and panties set, nearly unraveling from the sudden excess. She gasped. Fallon finally paused, his electric violent eyes all over her, eating her up. Never taking his gaze from her, he locked the pen and paper inside the drawer on the nightstand, and then he was on the bed, crawling his weight.